Aaron Gobert has raced all over the world and is one of a select few that has made a career out of racing. Ken Wooten sat down with Aaron to get an insight into one of our hard-charging races.
Go!
Aaron Gobert. Now, Gobert's a pretty famous name. Is that a help or a hindrance with your racing career?
Well, we've been around for a long time now. You look back to the mid-90s when Anthony was Australian Superbike champion, and you remember those days at Phillip Island when he went World Superbike with the Muzzy Kawasaki. So definitely opened the eyes of a lot of people to the name, and it's gone on from there. You know, myself, I've won championships. Alex has been at the front his whole career. He won an Australian title on the Marawaki when they bought them out. And yeah, I could say it goes both ways. It doesn't really matter. I'm still a Gobert though.
Well, I'm old enough to remember you winning the championship, the 250 Proddy title in Australia back in about 2000. Now, that's over a decade ago. You've gone on to be a professional racer in the States, but what was it about that Australian championship or this series that opened the doors overseas?
Well, to go back a little further, my history has always been dirt bikes, and when I originally went road racing, I looked at it and everybody raced the production class, you know, and you look at Mick Doohan and McCoy and Bayliss and Anthony himself did it. You know, it's just so many of the top guys did it, so you had to do it. And when I did it, I was like, if I can win this is going to be as good as a world title, because you think there was world champions that had started there. And you know, then I did win it in 2000, my second year, and went AMA racing, and had hope for that to continue on to world championship status. But you know, it's been such a strong domestic championship in the AMA, you kind of get stuck there once you start winning, because the manufacturers want winners on their bikes. So you know, the Proddy got me going and definitely got me opened up to big expectations in the world scene, but took me to the AMA where I was happy.
Well, you mentioned big championship, big series. Of course, the US with over 300 million people. You can make a good living as a professional motorcycle racer there? Yeah,
you know, I remember when World Superbike had their little down spurt where things were pretty quiet for them, and a lot of the guys were trying to come to AMA because there was more money. So at that particular time and for a long time afterwards, the domestic series had more money than the World Championship. You know, you can't really compare it to MotoGP or anything, but again, then look at Matt Mladen when he won his 7 titles. That guy was on a ridiculous amount of money, and you know, but congratulations to him. He did earn every dollar. He was worth it. So yeah, you can definitely make a good living, and it's one thing to look forward to going back to AMA.
Well, that was going to be my question. Chad Reed and Matt Mladen, 2 of the highest earning Australian motorsport people ever. Didn't quite see Aaron Gobert's name there, but was pretty comfortable in the States, was it?
Yeah, I don't know where I went wrong. I should have been a little more focused. You know, I won a championship and had the world at my feet, but unfortunately, you know, things didn't go right for me. Had a couple of big accidents and got hurt, and with this downturn in the economy right now, here I am back in Australia. But as you can see here, it's not like I just come back here and walk all over the boys. You know, it's a strong field here.
Well, Aaron really has been through it all, but it's admirable to see that fire still burning bright. It'll be interesting to see what he can do this weekend. Well, it's back to Ken and Kev to call all the action from race 1 of the QBE Supersport Australian Championship.
Well, I'm looking forward to this one, Kevin McGee. A good mix of hot heads and experienced heads, but all on evenly matched bikes. Mitchell Carr, the privateer on the Triumph, has outqualified Kevin Curtin. You wouldn't bet on that, would you?
You certainly wouldn't, but it's, you know, the young bull and the old bull in that case, really.
And Kristen Casella, the man that has pretty much been the front runner, qualifying way down there on 3rd row out of 9th position.
Yeah, he didn't have a good day at all, so out of the 3rd row, the grid's going to be making it hard.
Well, they're off on 17 laps around this 2.9 kilometre Hidden Valley circuit. Great start there from Nicholas Waters, the 17-year-old on bike 21, privateer on the Suzuki. Looks like he's going to lead them into turn 1 the first time. Bit of a bottleneck there. It's a long straight, but it's a very hard braking corner. Bit of a double apex there, and then the run up through these Suzuki S's up to Carlton Dry Corner, but it's Nick Waters leading the way. Mind you, he did that in Tasmania and got T-boned by his brother. Wonder if he's got mirrors on it this round.
Yeah, they've put out a lot of words after that, no doubt, back at Mildura.
Well, I think a few dollars might have been handed out as well. Opening lap, always important to try to get away with the leaders, and it's Waters from Gobert. Of course, Gobert won one of the races out of the 4 held so far. Nick Waters hasn't managed to stand on top of the podium, but I like to refer to him as Mr. Angry. He really grabs that bike by the scruff of the neck. It's an elbows out style and really physical, isn't it?
Yeah, a bit of water running across the track, you can see there on the turn into that left-hander, so got to be just a bit easy through there to make sure you don't push the front.
Down through the S's onto the front straight to complete 1 lap, and it's going to be Nick Waters that leads the way on the Suzuki. Aaron Gobert on the Yamaha there in second. Mitchell Carr in third on the Triumph. Just trying to find where Kevin Curtin is, bike number 12. He is the most experienced man in the field. Numerous Australian titles to his name. Up the inside goes Mitchell Carr on the Triumph. Now, this is last year's model. The bike that Kristen Casella is on, Kevin McGee's got a quick shifter as standard fitment. Would that be making much difference in lap times?
Yeah, it definitely does. It'll save you a tenth or two on upshifts, especially on the long 1 kilometre straight at Hidden Valley, so it definitely does give you a bit of lap time.
Of course, some of these other guys using their own versions of quick shifters to allow them to change gears with the throttle fully open. Nick Waters and Aaron Gobert. Of course, Aaron Gobert, 10 years racing in the AMA. Kevin McGee, you've raced in the AMA. Pretty tough domestic championship over there.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely one of the hardest in the world, that's for sure. And, you know, if you can survive in that, as Gobert said, you can pretty much survive anywhere.
Well, what's good is to hear him heap accolades on the riders in this class here. He's come back, he says, it's no easy pickings. He is riding as hard as he's ever had to ride. So we just pick up a view there of Mitchell Carr on the Triumph into lap 5. So we're coming up to third race distance, but Kev Curtin looming there very dangerously. Look at the flames out of Gobert's Yamaha as he backs off for that corner. About 90 kilometres an hour they've got a slow to there, and I guess down the front straight, Supersport bikes getting up around 265, maybe 270k.
Yeah, plenty of speed to get rid of in the braking area there, and a good long straight where you can take advantage of the draft. But Kev Curtin's the one just slipping up through the field at the moment, not letting Mitchell Carr get too big a gap so that he can, you know, set up a buffer. Kev Curtin wants to go with him. That's what they've got to be careful of, not fighting too much over second place.
Of course, these guys have got a bit of a challenge too to nurse their tyres. They're running a Dunlop controlled tyre, but they get 2 sets of tyres. Has to last them for qualifying and both the 17-lap races. And I guess it's a balancing act. Do you use your tyres up in qualifying, trying to get a good machine setting, or do you try to save them for what are going to be 2 punishing races?
Definitely going to need him for the races, so you've got to get through qualifying as best you can. Just a 1 start. Curtin having a look down the inside, doing a bit of testing, I think, Kev. He doesn't need to do it yet, got plenty of laps left.
Interesting there, that sort of slipstream pass. How many kilometres an hour in top speed does it help if you get that slingshot effect by tucking in behind another rider?
It's sort of different for different tracks. Depends which track you're at, in the sense of, like, coming on the front straight at Phillip Island in 4th gear and much slower here at Hidden Valley, so it becomes more effective further down the straight, obviously. Curtin up the inside. Mitchell Carr got in a bit hot and run it wide. That's a pressure that Kev Curtin's been applying to Mitchell Carr in the lead and telling at this point.
Let's pick that up on the replay. You can see Carr right out wide there. I noticed he was sort of having a bit of a dab with his left foot. It's like he missed a gear or picked up a false neutral. But that corner, turn 6, that's the slowest corner on the track, down to about 63 kilometres an hour there. And in some cases, I guess it's easier to make a mistake on a slow corner than it is on the fast one.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely, definitely. Especially from coming to a slow corner from a high speed. That's where you've got to get your braking spot on.
Curtin out in front now, position that he is quite familiar with on bike number 12. But going with him, his younger teammate, Rick Olsen, up the inside there of Nick Waters. Tell you what, there's a couple of young chargers. Can't quite see what visors they've got on, but irrespective of what they look like on screen, I think they're red mist on the inside.
Yeah, they're definitely having a go. Curtin, Mr. Smooth, exercising things out front, the way to go. Can't break away from him, not really putting any time on him, but he's got it under control. Banging into each other, Olsen and Waters. Oh. Really charging. There goes Mitchell Carr, I think, back up into second place, so he's made up for his mistake.
Yeah, here's a replay. No love lost there. Waters and Olsen, 2 of the young chargers. Waters looks across at Olsen. Carr tries to go up the inside. Kev Curtin will be glad that he's out away from that sort of carry-on, but some people have been known to say, oh, Curtin through the water there as he heads into the left-hander. getting right out of shape on his Yamaha, so he might be out in front, but he's certainly not taking it easy. Look at this gaggle of bikes. What a great super sport race we got here. There's Brodie Waters on bike 25, the Team Suzuki official entry. Back a little further than he'd like, struggling to keep the pace of this leading group. It looks like we've got three of them breaking away now. Curtin, Carr and Olsen. Can young Nick Waters is to me like a bit of super motard backing in there. Kevin McGee, that's not actually keeping it smooth, is it?
No, and using up the tyre a bit more than you really like to as well. Olsen going with his teammate. Curtin not able to create the buffer that he needs to sit out in the lead comfortable. Look at him just skating it in, so Kev Curtin's got nothing left. He is on a mission.
Well, of course, we've got ambient temperatures in the mid-30s, track temperature up around 50 degrees, so grip is not all that easy. As we can see there on the replay, Kevin Curtin, he's not going to be outdone by his younger super motard teammate, so locking it sideways there as he pushed it through the corner, through this very tricky bit, through that water that's running across the track there, just out of turn 7, a little bit challenging for the guys. It's also challenging for Brodie Waters, who's being led at the moment by his younger brother Nick. Of course, Nick the privateer, both of them on Suzuki GSX-R 600s, both of them under the eagle eye of elder brother Josh, who's down in the pits watching what's going on.
Josh, what's it like having two of your brothers out there racing in the same race?
Yeah, it's pretty cool, especially, you know, super sport class, which is at a high level. So the younger one's showing the older one up at the minute, so I'm sure the last few laps are going to be, oh, Brodie's just crashed. So that's not good at all. Yeah.
It's not good, but it is better than in Tasmania. What was it like in your house the week after Tasmania?
Yeah.
They crashed into each other.
Yeah, not good. But yeah, hopefully he's all right. He was going good, so not good at all. Hopefully Nicholas can show them all up.
Good luck for your race later on.
Thanks a lot.
Well, talk about live television, catching the reaction there of Josh Waters watching what had happened to his brother. I suppose the good thing is Kevin McGee was more concerned that Brodie hadn't been injured rather than any damage to the bike, so the brotherly love coming in there.
Yeah, for sure. You obviously feel for your brothers, and they're no different to any of us.
On track now, Kev Curtin under a fair bit of pressure from his teammate Rick Olsen. Of course, Josh was referring to when Brodie and Nick had that coming together the previous round at Symonds Plains. Let's hope there's no coming together here between the two Yamaha teammates. There's no team orders, but you've got Kevin Curtin, the most experienced man in the field. He's led most of the laps here, now under pressure from his younger teammate Rick Olsen, but lurking there in the background, the Triumph coming back into it.
Yeah, he's definitely in with a shot. Mitchell Carr on the 675. He can go with him and stick with him down the straight too, and it'll be interesting to see him make their way through those bits of water running across the track around here in a sec.
How would that affect you, Kevin? With your tyres are hot, but you're going through a patch of water and you've got to tip into the corner. I mean, is your heart in your mouth?
Yeah, it's one of those hold your breath moments. Really, you just got to make sure you get it right. Be really smooth with everything, no sharp edges on anything, and yeah, get it through there, and you're always ready for if it does skate a bit that you're going to run wide and catch it, so you're always ready for that as well as trying not to let that happen.
Well, on lap 15 of this 17-lap journey, are those sort of conditions more likely to favour an experienced man like Kevin Curtin?
Yeah, for sure. He can go where he wants because he's in the lead, you know, so he can pick the part where he wants to go. Mitchell Carr up the inside and into second, so really strong at the end of the race too. Mitchell Carr on the 675. He's
really come back from that either missed gear or just that problem up at turn 6 at about half race distance, but he's really got that 675 hooting at the moment. This is the corner where he had that trouble earlier on, but much neater there, in tight on the line. Now in the slipstream of Kevin Curtin, out he pops. I don't know if he's got the same top speed as the Yamaha. He's giving it a good shot though. And that slipstream effect probably adding 5 to 10 kilometres an hour as he goes into the lead. Yeah, it just doesn't quite come out with as much of a slingshot as the Yamaha will if they'll pass him the other way around, the Yamaha on the Triumph. But enough to get the job done. Good through the braking area. Now he leads up the back. Curtin having a look around. This is where he was skating it in before and doing it again, just floating it over the crest into the right-hander. What's Mitchell Carr do here? Does he just go for the fastest lap time he can do, or does he start to cover his lines and try balk tactics? No, just go as fast as you can. That's all you can do. Like, not a big fan of that, you know, the blocking and
trying to cover your lines and all that, then I reckon if you just go as fast as you can and break their heart is the best way to go, because then you've got them outside for the next race as well.
Well, he's got through the water okay. If anything, he's opened up a couple of lengths there on Kevin Curtin on the Yamaha. They've broken Rick Olsen. He's back there in third. It's going to be a drag race to the finish line as they come onto the front straight now. Bit out of shape there for Mitchell Carr as he heads toward the checkered flag. He's going to do it. It's going to be a win to Mitchell Carr on the Triumph 675, getting the better of Kevin Curtin. He's happy. Curtin congratulates him. So Carr takes the win by 0.152 of a second from Kevin Curtin. Olsen in third, Casella fourth, Nick Waters in fifth, then Dylan Maven, Jackson Lee Smith. Aaron Gobert finished sixth across the line but copped a 10-second penalty for a jump start, so he finishes eighth. Bad news for Aaron Gobert, but great news for Mitchell Carr with the race win.
Rick, third place, you gave it all you could there.
Yeah, I didn't get the best of starts. I made a big mistake into turn one. I hit a false neutral and then locked it up. I honestly thought the best I could get was probably fifth or sixth, and I was slowly getting people and slowly catching them. I thought I'll just have a crack, and I think, yeah, I'll shag me back tyre a bit, but oh well, that happens, I suppose. Them two rode great, full credit to them. I just couldn't stay with them at the end, so yeah.
Kevin, congratulations, second place. Your old, or should I say young nemesis, Nicholas Waters, didn't make it easy for you.
No, he's having a good go, wasn't he? But he was riding good in that race. I got past him and I didn't see him after that. I expected to see him again, but he must have dropped off a little bit. But no, it was a good race, and it was a little bit hard to lead the race because of all the water coming across the circuit, you know, and because every time someone would lead, someone would have to follow, and it was making it harder for the leader. So no, it was all good. All credit to Yamaha, all my team. You know, they've been great.
Mitch, congratulations on that race win. Superb effort.
It was a good race. You know, it's always good racing with the factory guys. A nice, clean racing, and it's always just a thrill to be with them.
You're having a stellar weekend so far. One race left to go.
One race left to go, yeah. We're going to do our best to get up front, but, you know, the bike is just working outrageous. The Triumphs just get me out the front time every time. It's making the job easy.
A great job by you, and of course race one has been run and won. 3 races to go as the Superbikes prepare for their first race. When we return, we talk to Suzuki's General Manager, Perry Morrison.
QBE presents the Viking Group Australian Superbike Championship, proudly brought to you by Motul and International Entertainment Group.